highlighting the values Sri Krishna taught. Now we are honored to invite Pandit Vamdev Shastri, our keynote speaker, to the stage. Pandit Vamdev Shastri is a Western-born teacher in the Vedic tradition. In India, Vamdeva is recognized as a Vedacharya, Vedic teacher, and included in his scope of studies is Ayurveda, Yoga, Vedanta, and Vedic astrology, as well as the ancient Vedic texts. His translations and interpretations of the ancient Vedic teachings have been acclaimed in both spiritual and scholarly circles. He has worked extensively teaching, writing, lecturing, conducting research, and helping establish schools and associations in related Vedic fields over the last 3 decades.
Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. First of all, I want to thank the organizers of this wonderful event for bringing me here and asking me to speak before you. It is a great honor to be here with you. And you can see it is a very lively event with many people moving in many different directions and sharing so many different sessions and so much deep knowledge and deep wisdom. So it brings to me mind some memories. I remember the first youth session I spoke before at of the Hindu youth was about, I think more than 20 years ago. There was a cultural festival of India in Edison, New Jersey, that was organized by the Swami Narayan order. And we had about, I would say there was more than 1,000 young Hindus for that event. And through that organization, I was introduced to speaking before the young Indians. As for older Hindus and Indians, I've always been speaking before them. And we've done many programs all over the world. And it's important for us to understand the role of the youth is to carry on certain samskaras. It's to carry on certain traditions. But above all, it is to make those traditions be reborn, brought back to life, made relevant, and reinvented in every single generation. Hinduism is called the Sanatana Dharma, and Sanatana Dharma is often translated as the eternal Dharma or the eternal truth. But Sanatana in Sanskrit implies perpetual renewal, not just something that is set once in a moment of time and then continues the same without change forever. It is held perpetually, which means it must be reinvented in every generation. Now, many of us know that Hinduism is the oldest of the world's religions, and it has the greatest history of all of them, going back not only 5,000 years, perhaps going back 10,000 years, connecting to the whole eternal tradition of truth in the cosmic mind. Yet we should also understand that Hinduism is always the world's newest religion, because it goes to the direct experience of the living guru, sage, and rishi. It is something that needs to be seen and understood in the present moment, and it is something that is not bound to the past. The teachings, the shastras, are guidelines. They give us tools, they help show us the way. But the inner truth is something that we must experience directly for ourselves. And so the teaching is made new and relevant to every single generation, and every single generation puts its mark upon it and brings their own self and spirit into it. It's also important to be able to communicate the essence of Hinduism to people in the West today. And one of the main factors for educating the youth is to educate them into the essence of the Hindu tradition and the Sanatana Dharma. And here there are a few key points that we can bear in mind. One, that Hinduism is not only the oldest tradition in the world, it is the oldest of the native traditions in the world. It is a tradition that comes out of nature. It is a tradition that's not bound to a single person, to a single time, place, belief, or organization. Hinduism is the largest of what we call the pluralistic traditions in the world because it teaches a variety of paths and approaches to divinity. And this variety is not that anything goes, that anybody can do whatever they want and find truth. This pluralism is a recognition that we can approach things from many angles, we can understand the same single truth, and we can preserve that essence, just as the ocean has many waves, and just as a tree has many leaves, flowers, and fruit. And Hinduism is a very interesting religion because it encompasses all of life. It is not simply a religion as a belief system. And it is also very interesting because it is a tradition that in perpetually renewing itself brings in all dimensions. In the Hindu tradition, we can bring in all aspects of art, all aspects of science, all aspects of culture, and at the same time we renew them and bring them back to the essential core of higher knowledge. I also like to explain Hinduism as the religion of nature, not simply nature as a material phenomenon, but nature as the very presence of consciousness. The Vedas take us back to this very, very important concept of the Purusha. Purusha, or the cosmic person. The entire universe is a single being, and that single being is present in each one of us. That universal Purusha is the essence of the person in each individual personality that we have. So that our own personal being is the universal being. All of nature is our own body, and the consciousness behind nature is our own spirit. So as we look out into this great world in which we live, we are recognizing that same self, being, and consciousness. As we discover the laws of nature, we are discovering the laws of Dharma. We are discovering the Sanatana Dharma. We are discovering how each thing in the universe is mirrored in every other, how all creatures are not only interdependent, actually all creatures are one. It is our minds and bodies that are interdependent, that are connected in various ways and on various levels and to various degrees, but our essential spirit, being, and consciousness is one. So it's not just simply a question of recognizing how we are connected together, but how we are sharing a common being. So when we see Hinduism in a country like the United States, it looks as something new, it looks as something peculiar, something cultural, something coming out of India, something belonging to the past. But if we look at the deeper teachings, we discover the deeper religion, spirituality, self-knowledge tradition of all human beings, all cultures, and all of nature. And we see it coming together, reinventing itself, holding to its deeper principles, and making itself visible on the global stage in a new form. I remember a few decades ago when I was studying the Hindu tradition, actually the Hindu word was almost a bad word in the United States. Hindus would not say, I'm a Hindu. Because what happened at that time is people identified Hinduism with caste, with superstition. The old, what we call missionary propaganda, was still very much in play. And now, over these past few decades, now the Hindus represent the most affluent and educated minority in the United States, except for perhaps the Jews. And this has caused a change in the image of Hinduism. And now Hinduism is not a bad word, it is a good word. And being Hindu means you'll be better educated, make more money, and be more open-minded than the non-Hindus around you. It's interesting, in India, Hinduism is still looked at almost in a negative light, whereas in the West, the Hindus do quite well and are able to accomplish things on many different levels. So as the Hindu youth here, you represent a new avatar, a new form, a new manifestation of the Sanatana Dharma, and you represent a presence and the power that is very helpful and very important for also renovating and transforming the image of Hinduism in India. But even in India today, we see that Hinduism is rising again. We see that there is greater interest in yoga, Vedanta, Jyotish, Vedic astrology. There's a recognition that this is the tradition of deeper knowledge, deeper wisdom, deeper art, deeper science. There's a recognition that this tradition belongs to everyone, that people from all over the world are coming here, coming to India, sharing these teachings. It's interesting that, you know, the first guru who really came to the West was Vivekananda in 1893. In 1920, Paramahansa Yogananda became the first great guru to really live in the United States. Then there were almost no Indians in the United States. And now we have so many teachers, so many groups, so many institutions, and now so many events that the beauty, the abundance, the transforming power, the wonder of this deeper knowledge is spreading. And we also see that over this last century, a lot of the great discoveries in philosophy, medicine, art, science, on all levels, had a connection with the Sanatana Dharma, through the Upanishads, through Bhagavad Gita, through great gurus, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, Paramahansa Yogananda, Baba Muktananda. So many teachers have come here, and now Lord Ram himself has come. Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram. And these deities, these devatas, are present throughout. They are everywhere. Vatatmajam marutatulyavegam jitendriyam buddhimatam varishtam. We have this presence of Hanuman in the wind. We have this presence of Rama in the sun. We have this presence of Krishna in the moon. We have this greater universal tradition and universal presence. And we have all the wonder, the beauty, the chaos, the diversity, and all the splendor of this great tradition coming here. So again, thank you for allowing me to say a few words here, to introduce my voice here into the voice of the wind. And I invite you to continue and join the celebrations, join in raising the spirit and letting Hanuman fly here, and bringing the presence. We hold Shiva and Shakti in our home in New Mexico. We recognize the Shiva force in the great canyons of the southwest of America. There's the Shiva force in the great mountains. There are the Shiva force in the great redwood trees. We can find these forces everywhere. We are not only one family, the entire universe is one home, and all countries, all lands are our own. And I think Hinduism will make a great mark upon the future of America, as it has already affected the present. Jai Shri Ram.
Thank you so much. That was very interesting and very thoughtful. I'm going to have Soumitra Gokhaleji. He is a full-time pracharak for Hindu Swayam Sevak Sangh. I'm going to have him thank David Frawley-ji. Thank you. Okay, we have some exciting news here. Someone has been playing in the carnival games and we actually have a gold medal winner. So let's go ahead and have a round of applause for him. Come on up. All right, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, myself Amir Patel. I am a San Jose State student. My specialization is computer engineering, and I won a gold medal. Yeah, I played every game. I just lost the one with the Angat's foot, the plank something. Rest of them I won. That's it.
Okay, next up we have a performance by Anda's dance group. Okay, let's go ahead and have them on stage. Give them a warm welcome.
कुछ करिए बस बस बड़ा बोले अब कुछ करिए ओ कोई तो चल सिद्ध फड़िए तुम बेतरिए या करिए हर कोई तो चल सिद्ध फड़िए तुम बेतरिए या करिए चक दे इंडिया चक दे चक दे इंडिया चक दे
Oh, there they are.
उठो दिया तो पाँच उधर से इधर आए रिपीटेड इवेंट બધા ને એટલા બેસાડી આવે પછી ઉપર
Okay, so let's move on to our next performance. So let me tell you one phrase. If no one responds to your call, then go your own way alone. Our next performance exhorts the listener to continue his or her journey despite abandonment or lack of support from others. So let's get ready for an energetic and inspiring Bengali dance performance by Jolly.
हमारी आगे बेसिक
Thank
চলো রে যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে তবে একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো রে তবে একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো রে যদি কেউ কথা না কয় ওরে ওরে ও ভাগা কেউ কথা না কয় যদি সবাই থাকে মুখ ফিরায় সবাই করে ভয় যদি সবাই থাকে মুখ ফিরায় সবাই করে ভয় তবে পরাণ খুলে তবে পরাণ খুলে তুই মুখ খুলে তোর মনের কথা একলা বলো রে তুই মুখ খুলে তোর মনের কথা একলা বলো রে যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে जब काली घटा छाए ओरे ओरे ओ अंधेरा सच को निगल जाए जब दुनिया सारी डर के आगे सर अपना झुकाए जब दुनिया सारी डर के आगे सर अपना झुकाए तू शोला बचा वो शोला बचा जो खुद चल के जहां रोशन कर दे अगला चलो रे जो खुद जल के जहां रोशन कर दे अगला चलो रे যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা
Thank you so much for this lovely performance. It was immense pleasure to have you all here. So, just as a token of appreciation, I would like if you can accept this trophy from us. So, I would request our Karyakarta, Nikhil Tambeji, to come and give a token of thanks to you.
Okay, next up we'll be having a panel discussion with experts on yoga, holistic wellness, and the challenges youth face in America. So if I could call Sonia up to introduce the panelists, please.